Hi guys, James here. Thank you for coming to watch. And today I thought would be a good opportunity to look at a few different pedals of different price brackets to see if it really is worth spending so much money on pedals. Now, I'm clearly a guy that likes a pedal. I think that much is obvious, as you'll see from my little collection here. I think pedals are a great inspiration for, they're creative tools. They give us what we need. Whether it's from just a boost all the way through to a heavy fuzz, a breakup overdrive, or delays, reverbs, all that sort of thing. So, I've been wondering myself, are we sometimes just sort of, like magpies? We see something new, we see something shiny, it's got a high price tag, and maybe that even interests us even more. So let's figure it out today. We've got 4 different pedals. We're ranging from about £30, probably $30, $40, then £99, probably $100. Then we go to $350, so a big jump, and then $550. And the pedals we've got are this very anonymous looking overdrive pedal that I bought a long time ago. It was actually the only pedal I had at the time, apart from probably a blues driver. And I can't even remember what the manufacturer is. You can look it up. Once you've seen the picture of it. I can find it. I did find it the other day online still. And that's a cheap pedal. Then we've got what I'd say is a sort of upper end of the lower price bracket, £99. And this is this fantastic Nobels ODR-1, which is the subject of my giveaway competition at the moment. And if you haven't seen that, go back a few videos. You need to just subscribe and comment, and you'll be in to win that when I get 1,500 subs. Next, we have, one of the favorites at the moment of a lot of people on the internet. I see on Peach Guitar's channel, Jack, his rig has always got the Duellist involved. They like it on that pedal show, and I really like it. And when it's paired with a Strat, it really gets you that Stevie Ray Vaughan character, if that's what you're after. But it can also do the more blues breaker type stuff on the heavy hand side. Today, we're only going to use one side of it because this is not a full gear review, for example. So we'll just use the steel stringer side, the string singer side. And then we've got the RevivalDrive by Origin Effects. Now, if you've been watching this channel for a while, it's no surprise to see an Origin Effects pedal here. I think they are fantastic things. I started with a Revival Trem, which has fantastic tube tremolo in it and a beautiful brown face overdrive sound, really creamy, just very high fidelity, fantastic. And also the Cali 76 compressor pedal, which is second to none. This is studio quality stuff in a small pedal. At a reasonably high price, though, that's the thing. This is £550 for this RevivalDrive. Now, the way this video will work is I've got the Bloomfield drive. We're going to do the tests on the clean channel of the Bloomfield drive, but I will first show you what the lead channel sounds like, because it's interesting to compare pedals on a clean channel to the actual lead side of your amp, to see whether it's even worth having a pedal, because the 2-Rock, for example, comes with a pedal where I can control whether I'm in the lead channel or not and whether I've got the bypass on or not. So I'll show you that first, and then we'll just go through the pedals one by one. I was thinking of doing this as a blind test, but I don't think that's the point here. It's not, can you get away with a cheap pedal? I think we can take some broad answers out of this sort of video, which is basically, are more expensive pedals going to sound better? And that should be evident from the tones that they produce, rather than making this into a blind test. If you think doing a blind test would be useful, though, I could always put out a series of blind tests where we compare pedals. I think that'd be quite good fun. So I'll tell you what, let's make that the subject of the comment section this time, if you can. Tell me, do you want to do blind tests? Do you want to know what pedals sound like without knowing what they are? And then we'll reveal them at the end of a video. So anyway, let's start on the clean channel with my Paul Reed Smith Special Semi Hollow Body. Not a guitar I've actually used much on the channel. I don't know why. It sits there looking beautiful in the corner. So anyway, it's got a lovely sweet sound, as you can hear. Now, if I get on the lead channel, and I'll show you the settings on the amp, but this is following some advice from a couple of viewers, thank you very much, you know who you are, to set up this lead channel. You know, I'm still sort of tweaking around with this amp. It's a fantastic tool, and I definitely haven't got the best potential from it yet. But we're getting closer, and I'm pushing the lead master and the lead gain quite a lot. And I'm going to push down the main gain. So again, clean. So there you go, it's got a really raunchy lead channel as I've set it up there. So we're back on the clean side again now. And let's kick in the first pedal. I've set them up already so that they're roughly all at about the same level when they come on. And then I've just tweaked around a little bit to get the best out of them. So we'll turn on this $30 overdrive. So I've just kicked on the bass boost and I've got the mid boost on. I think it's actually better just to get that fuller sound. Okay, let's go straight to the Nobles. I'm going to save judgment until I've at least done a little bit of each one. So. And now the string singer side of the Duellist. And the RevivalDrive. Okay, that was pretty full on. So let's start at the beginning again. Let's compare them to the ones next to each other to give that sort of 30 versus 99, 19 versus 350. I think it would be really unfair to compare a 30 quid pedal to a 350, 550 quid pedal, but you should hear the difference. So this is that cheap overdrive. I mean, the first thing to say is it is an overdrive. You can, you can hear the effect. So it passes the first test of actually creating a sound, creating a lead tone that you could use as a lead tone. I mean. Now, if we play around with the pedal a little bit and get to the best tone, let's whack the drive up, see what it can do when it's sort of 3/4 of the way on. I mean, it compresses well. It's got some depth to it. I've got the tone set back quite far now, so. But if we were to compare that to the lead side of this amp. Well, it's not really comparable, but that's probably unfair. So Okay, let's get the best out of this. What if we go for just after edge of breakup sounds on all of these pedals? I'm going to keep the levels all the same because I don't want it to sound louder on one than the other particularly. That's a bit unfair. And how does it, if you roll back the volume, how does it react? Okay, so interestingly, it doesn't really react the way you'd want it to, as far as I'm concerned, which is to roll back the volume and get a clean tone. Obviously, the way the electronics work in here, at full volume, and then at half volume, it's just the same, but at a lower volume. So you can't use your guitar volume, which I'm a fan of, to control this. So if we compare that to the Nobles, which is, I already know, is a great value for money pedal. I mean, you barely have to do anything with the Nobles to get it to sound great. I mean, every different part of its spectrum, every different part of its gain stage is fantastic sounding. It is the real secret session sauce as far as I can see from other people as well. It bolsters the amp. Now let's see if we roll back. Yeah, it does have some dynamics. You can roll it back, you can get cleaner because, you know, at top volume it's got that lovely crunch, and then lower it down. So that means that you can play with the volume on your guitar to control the dynamics, which you can't with the cheaper pedal, and I think that's a huge difference. Just to do a quick A/B test, cheap overdrive. Nobles. Definitely a huge difference there. The cheap pedal just has no depth to it. It has a sort of very thin tone. It would be passable, you know, I wouldn't record with it, that's for sure. In a gig setting, you know, let's say you were touring one day distantly in the future, and you got somewhere, your main, you know, you're on a small little rig, your main pedal board's, your pedal's not working, your overdrive pedal, and you carried this cheap pedal as a spare, or someone else had it, and, you know, you could probably get away with a bit of... You might not be happy with it, but it will give you some tone to get through the mix and to get through a gig. But that's as far as it goes, really. I think we should leave it behind a little bit. We will compare it to the Duellist and the other one very quickly. But now, onto the String Singer. Now, this is a pedal, the Duellist, which is obviously become very popular. That Pedal Show did a great video the other day comparing different two-sided overdrive pedals. They obviously like the Duellist as well. It just hits the spot, doesn't it, that pedal? The way the breakup happens is so organic, and it just sounds so... You know. It's great. And if we compare it to the Nobles, let's turn the level up a bit just to match better. Duellist. You know, it's a close run thing, I'd say, between those two pedals, and for 3.5 times the price. Is the Duellist 3.5 times the pedal? Well, I mean, it gives you two sides, so it's very flexible. It's a gorgeous looking pedal, but then the Nobles isn't bad either. It's got that sort of nostalgic boss looking thing going on. They're both very flexible. This is the point where a 99 quid pedal can live in the same category as a 350 quid pedal. And I think that's down to some clever production by Nobles. Probably they've been able to produce so many of these units over the years that it can bring the price down, but definitely doesn't live in the cheap category. You know, what are those cheaper pedals that Anderton sell? Tone City, like these Tone City ones. Okay, I think this Tone City King of Blues thing is about £60, and they do lots of pedals in the 30, 40, 50, which give you a flavour of the real pedal they're going for. But I found so far as the fidelities for me is just not there when you compare them to the more expensive stuff. But the Nobles pedal, its fidelity lives amongst the same category as the Duellist and all the others. So, you know, but the Duellist can take you to a lot of places. If we whack the gain up hugely, and then if we bring it all the way down, turn the volume up a bit, put it into glass mode, which has the sort of bright switch effect. It can have a very pretty sound, a very, you know, it's got a lot of different things you can do with it, and that's probably why it costs so much. The build quality, the fact that they don't make a huge number of these, the look and feel of it, and then the actual tones, fantastic. Now, onto the RevivalDrive. This is the most complicated pedal I've ever come across, even more than the Strymon Volante. I will make a video about it if anyone can sit through probably what will be like 45 minutes of tones out of this thing. You know, it's an incredible thing. But, you know, the end product I can get out of this pedal can be great, but getting there can be really painful. I'm just being honest. And at £550, you know, it's a lot of money. So let's just work today on, this is the valve rectifier side as opposed to the silicon rectifier side, and here we go. Just going to turn it down a bit just because I'm going to clip the mics otherwise. It's a stunning sound. I think any particular tone you get out of this is not the key thing. There's no end result with this pedal, if that makes sense. You know, the Nobles has 5 or 6 places in it which are fantastic, and you use it to get an identifiable Nobels tone that I was looking for anyway. When it comes to something like this RevivalDrive, it's more like having an amp. It's there to recreate various sort of amps. You got different preamps in there, from the British type to the American type to a more neutral type. You can basically create different ghosting notes, and there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. And ultimately, it really reacts like an amp. The more you hit it, the more you get. You could definitely do your whole gig, your whole recording, everything with this. And I'll show you that in the review video of it, where maybe I'm actually going to... Do you know what? I think it'd be better if I didn't do a whole, this is every tone you get out of this pedal. I'm going to do a sort of condensed, these are the 3, 4, 5 amazing sounds you get. Maybe that's more useful. Okay, so to compare it to the Duellist. So let's get the Duellist back to a reasonable level of drive. Just going to put it in normal, sort of, as opposed to the bright switch being. RevivalDrive. Both fantastic. And then to compare the Nobels. And then just so you hear that cheap pedal again. Let's get the level up. So I've got the level almost all the way up on that pedal, and it's not doing a lot, is it? Let's turn the drive down on it and whack the level up all the way. That's level all the way up, and it's still not that loud. And it doesn't have a great tone, does it? Let's be honest, it's quite thin. I was actually thinking maybe it will live up a bit better to these other pedals, because when I've used it, the other day I just thought I'll turn this thing on. I hadn't used it for many years. It's, I thought, oh, okay, sounds all right. But actually, it's only when you start comparing it that you realise it's... I definitely would say the Tone City pedals at that same sort of price are much better, even though they still can't live up to the Nobels, let alone the other ones. So, let's finish off with just a quick Nobels Duellist RevivalDrive. Duellist. RevivalDrive. Okay, here's what I think is any of the three pedals from the Nobels upwards can do a fantastic job. They've all got, I'd say, different purposes. The Nobels gives that very specific Nobels ODR-1 sound. It's not at all like a tube screamer. It's very good in a mix, as I showed in the other video about it, and you can't go wrong with it. And for 99 quid, you should all have one in your arsenal. The Duellist pedal has more character to it. It's got a tube screamery side and a blues breaker type side. It's really freaking useful and gorgeous sounding. Lots of different tones out there, beautifully well made. And frankly, I just like to support that company because I think they make fantastic things. Same with the Origin Effects pedal. It takes a lot of work. It's quite a good manual to get stuck into and read how to figure this thing out. As I said, I'm still working on that one, but it sounds great. It feels like an amp. It has all the different sort of sag and the feeling of a vintage amp, and you can get so much out of it. If you've got £550 to spare though, it's going to be between that and I've got the Automaton coming at some point soon. If you don't know about that pedal, that's the one you've been seeing around all the other YouTube channels with the EQ level thing that can robotically move itself and lots of tones. I can't wait to try that thing. That's a bit more expensive again. So maybe the next part of this sort of test will be Duellist, Origin Effects, and or as the pedal show say, Tomato Tone, which I thought was great. Anyway, I hope this has been useful, maybe helped you to pick a new pedal or to see that you don't have to spend so much money. You know, £100 can really open up things as opposed to that 30 to 40, £50 level. So anyway, I now feel like I should have thrown in that Tone City pedal to show you what that sounds like. If you think that would also be interesting, we'll do another one of these. I'll compare different pedals at different price points. So if you've enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. I'll see you next time.